What's up, everybody? 10-minute offense here. It's Javon, Julian, and me, Steve. We're starting off with our NFL show for the week. Big news yesterday, J.J. Watt, surprisingly, to the Arizona Cardinals. Just want to touch for a minute or two to see what you guys think about that. I don't think when people were naming the teams where they thought he would go, they were saying Green Bay, Pittsburgh, play with his brother, Buffalo, and then it was AZ. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, definitely a surprise. That was a wild card. Nobody saw that one coming. Yeah, I think Buffalo was the other option. Maybe was a close second. So I was surprised to see that. To me, I just don't think for him it was the best landing spot as far as if he wanted to win. So it seems like this was more of a money move for him and maybe a career and like comfortability thing. He can go to a warm weather city. He gets to be kind of still close to kind of the south side of the United States, like Buffalo, super cold and not much to do out there. So to me, that's what it looked like for JJ. And obviously the contract was pretty fat. So he did get paid there. So that's kind of my take on it.
I agree with you. I agree. Like it was a money decision, and it also shocked me to wake up to that news because, like Arizona, like he's joining DeAndre Hopkins. He's again, but it's a smart move for the Cardinals. Their defense is up. They're growing with Buda Baker, Chandler Jones. So him and Chandler on the line, I feel it'll cause a lot of chaos throughout the league next year. But it all also depends on J.J. Watt's health. Yeah, because he's known to miss some games. So it's going to be interesting to see how he stays healthy out there. But I agree with you, Javon. It was all money move, $23 million guaranteed.
Yeah, two years, 30, was it 31, 34 million?
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, I don't know if another team was going to pay him that. So I don't fault him. I think when he's healthy, he's still a great player. He's just not the guy he was 4 or 5 years ago. So, but I mean, it's gonna, if fans are allowed to go to games, which I think they are in Arizona, you got Murray, Hopkins, JJ Watt, they got an exciting young team. So
Isaiah Simmons.
Oh yeah. They got some great players. So
I didn't know this. They were fourth in the league in sacks last year.
Yeah, 48 of them.
Oh yeah,
surprising. I think they blitz a lot. That's why.
I mean, if he is in like 2015 form somehow, man, then it's a steal.
Right.
Agreed.
So yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys thought on that. Listeners, watchers, let us know what you guys think about the Watt signing. Next, we move on to Watt's former teammate, Deshaun Watson, who's talked about daily more than anybody probably. Where do you guys think, I know we've touched on this before, where do you guys think is the best fit for him? Not what you think the Texans should do for the sake of their team, but where do you think Watson would be most successful? Julian.
That's a good question. I don't know where he would be successful, but I would say with a team that has a vision of where they want to go. And I'm just trying to figure out, because I know there's so many open teams. So they're either fighting for Deshaun or Russell. But I would just say, like, whatever team has a vision for Deshaun, because obviously he wants to get up there with Mahomes, with Brady, with Russell, with the Super Bowl championship. So with a good offense, obviously, and a defense to back him up, that's what I feel Deshaun needs. But I can't give you that exact team. One won't come to my mind. I've been thinking about it all day and night.
I got one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Washington football team. Kind of a random one, but I think they have the money to spend for him. I don't think they're paying a lot of high-priced players right now. And then, well, I guess, Steve, to your question, it's like, well, what's best for him? I'm just saying NFC East, because that division is wide open. Like, I don't know why these quarterbacks aren't thinking about going to one of those teams, because you can run that division for the next 5 to 7 years and easily at least have a chance to make the playoffs every single season. So they have a great defensive line. I think it's probably one of the best in the league. And then they might not have the best weapons on offense, but maybe you draft a couple this year. They still have that kid, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin. They still have some guys. So I think the football team would make sense for him.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that would be a solid move. They need a QB. They have talented players around them and a solid defense. So yeah, he could own that division,
For sure.
And they let Alex Smith go yesterday, so that's smart.
Yeah, I think he'll touch on him for 2 seconds. He'll be a good pickup for a team that has a young QB. I don't know if it's one of the guys that was drafted last year or one of the teams that drafted a rookie this year, but I think he's a good fit for a team like that, Alex Smith, just to touch on him real fast. The team, without being biased and saying the Bears, the team that I think would be really great for Deshaun would be, I said it a couple weeks ago, I think it would be Carolina. They got McCaffrey, they got 2 good receivers, a good young coach, a decent defense, but they're in a division. Yeah, I know Brady's there, but despite what he thinks, he's not playing forever. I mean, I don't know. He might. He could play to 50 if you told me, and I wouldn't be surprised. But outside of that, you've got, the Saints, who we're not sure if Breeze is coming back or not. And I think, and you have the Falcons, who knows about Matt Ryan, where his skill level will be. He seems to be on the decline. I think he could really dominate in that division, and end his career there. And it's close to where he grew up. So yeah, of course, as a Bears fan, I'd love to see him on the Bears, but they also have, I think it's the number 8 pick in the draft. So when you do factor in what the Texans need, it works for them too. It's a high pick, So yeah, I wanted to see what you guys thought. It's cool that we all have some different answers, but I don't disagree with you guys. We got about 7 minutes left. Save the last half of the show for Javon's dude, Russ. In our pre-production meeting, I asked you guys, of the 4 teams that supposedly he's saying he's down to go to: Chicago, Dallas, Vegas, and the Saints. Where do you guys think is the best fit? So Javon, since I know you love him the most, if you're him and it's not going to be Seattle to finish off his career, which one of those 4 teams and why?
Just to let all of our listeners know, the reason why is because he's a keeper in Steve's fantasy football league, and Steve's been trying to trade Russ away from my team for years now, but that's not happening anytime soon. So going in line with what I was talking about with the NFC East, I'm going to go with Dallas. So of those 4 teams, right, those were the ones he said, like, I want to go to if I'm going to get traded. Got to be the Cowboys, pivoting off that same reason, which is, the NFC East has basically been dysfunctional. The Eagles don't have a quarterback. The football team does not have a quarterback
or a name.
That, geez, yeah, let's work on that one first. And I mean, Daniel Jones is okay, but he's not. If anybody's thinking he's a franchise guy, I don't know. The Cowboys have a loaded offense. Their O-line does need some work, but we've seen Russell work with a patchwork O-line for years in Seattle. Cooper's still there. Gallup, CeeDee Lamb looks like an emerging star. They can still lean on Zeke. Tony Pollard can spell him. So I look at Dallas. I'm like, that seems like a perfect fit. And then on top of that, all the endorsement money he would get from being the Cowboys quarterback is going to be, ridiculous for his career too. I know, Sierra is obviously a big part of that. So I've never lived in Dallas. I visited it. It's a great city to visit. Probably is a nice place to live too. So, Russ, go to the Cowboys, man. I think it makes a lot of sense for you in your career.
I like those points.
Yeah. What you got,
Um,
Julian?
I would say Russ should go to the Saints. Just because they're a proven offense with Alvin, Michael Thomas, and I feel like him and Sean Payton, they will have like a good bond because Sean Payton, he could relate to the youth, to the locker room, and Russ just wants to air it out. And I feel Sean Payton has no problem with letting it go, letting it fly. And the Saints, they're ready. They're ready too. They're one of the top 5, top 6, whatever teams you want to say in the league. But I feel like they're ready to go, ready to get over that hump. So I like to see Russ with the Saints.
Yeah, not bad. Those are 2 good options. Couple minutes left. Now I will be a homer, but let me go with why I wouldn't go somewhere if I were him. Vegas. Everybody loves Vegas to go party. He doesn't need to go there to party. It's like there's too much. His wife doesn't need any of that. Like, they've done all that stuff. Okay. The Saints and the Cowboys, the Saints have had Drew Brees for what seems like 50 years, right? That team is not dying for a star QB. And you have sorry, I got something down here. You got you got Dallas, who's, still has Dak, but they've had Aikman, they've had Staubach. You got the Bears, who have been hungry for a quarterback forever. I mean, just the fact that he supposedly named the Bears as one of the 4 teams he would go to, be willing to be traded to, has already made him this legend in Chicago, and he's not even on the team. He hasn't been traded to them. You go to Chicago and you make any type of significant playoff run, get to the Super Bowl, he's more of a legend than he'll ever be in Seattle, and you guys might disagree, but more than he would be in these other cities that he named, just because they're all used to QBs. The Bears, I've brought it up before, their best QB statistically is Sid Luckman, who played like in the 60s. I mean, how long ago was that? That was 50 something years ago. It's so he goes there. They've got the head coaching staff is questionable, but they have good players. If they tag Robinson, I think if Russ got to the Bears somehow, Robinson is going to sign with them long term. David Montgomery, Cole Kmet, their line the last 6 to 7 games when they were healthy were actually really good. And I know they'd have to trade key pieces away, most likely on the defense. So it would take a hit. But even if you trade away some of these young players, it's a top 10 defense still. So they went 8-8 with Trubisky and Foles. Imagine them, even after trading some players, with Russ Wilson and all the guys I named. They're competing. I'm not being delusional and saying they're going to the Super Bowl, but they're competing with the Packers for the division, which in Chicago's eyes is really all we want. We want to beat the Packers and make a playoff run. So that's why I say Russell Wilson, get traded to Chicago.
And whenever Russ plays Aaron Rodgers, man, it always seems like a super wild game.
So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're always epic games. I mean, I think any of those teams is great, but that's just how I feel. I feel like he just becomes an automatic legend, and the only way he does anything wrong is if they somehow he's a bust. But how would that be? So
I like it. We all had different landing spots.
Yeah. Sorry, Raiders fans. He wasn't one of our
the odd team out.
Y'all got Carr.
They got Carr. They got a good. Yeah. So, all right, perfect timing. That wraps it up for the NFL show for this week.
Right on.
Thanks, guys. Listen up for some NBA and MLB talk coming up.